Presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Kansas City.
Royals baseball from Minneapolis. We have had gorgeous weather this weekend. Beautiful sunny day today as the Royals try to take 2 out of 3 from the Minnesota Twins. Royals baseball is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. And if you missed the first 2 games, on Friday night the Royals had good starting pitching. Yordano Ventura, 7 innings, 3 runs allowed. The Royals had outstanding defense. Paulo Orlando made 2 great plays, and the Royals scored 7 runs. Last night, a familiar problem. The Royals losing on the road and losing because of home runs allowed. Minnesota hit 3 to score all 5 of their runs. Welcome back to the ballpark with Rex Hudler. I'm Brian Lefevre. Disappointing day last night, and yet let's get back to what we talked about on Friday, the opportunity to win another series.
Yeah, that's so important. And by winning game 1, it gives you 2-game swing there to pick up the series with either one of them games. Now, since they're at game 3 now, it's time to step on their neck. If they want to continue to get back into this race and get back to 500, they cannot let the Twins win today. The Twins, hey, they've been beaten before by the Royals, 5 out of the 7 this year. It's time to step on their neck. Ryan, they've got to be able to pitch, execute, and get those timely hits. But continue the great defense, but this is a big game going into Detroit with the next swing of games against the Central. They've got to be able to perform.
Yeah, and they've had Paulo Orlando making some great defensive plays, talking about very good defense, and he's given the Royals a lift moving to the leadoff spot. Not only can he play all over the field defensively, but as our Kubota power stats show us, he hits just about anywhere in the lineup.
Versatility is key for any player if you have that ability. This Paulo Orlando, this young player, what a gifted athlete he is. And for Ned Yost to be able to hit him anywhere in that order, that's important. But he's found a spot here in that first slot there. 6 spots an RBI spot. He's been successful down in the bottom of Ned's order. Ned was telling me before the game that those lineups are well thought out between him and his coaching staff. Paulo had success, didn't want to move him. Now that Escobar struggled in that leadoff hole, he's found a home at the top, stirring up that bus and getting it started.
It'll be Hector Santiago pitching for Minnesota. The Royals thought they were done with him, but then he was traded from the Angels to the Twins. Edinson Volquez for the Royals. Joel and Monty are back to talk about Eddie.
With the Royals. We get ready for the series finale with the Royals and the Twins. Joel Goldberg, Royals Hall of Fame for Jeff Montgomery, and Royals will be back here in a few weeks. But first off, need to get the win today and a solid pitching performance from Edinson Volquez.
Yeah, I would love to see Edinson Volquez pitch today exactly like he has in his career against the Minnesota Twins. Been very effective. The Royals have won 5 and hit 6 career starts against the Twins.
Yeah, he is our Honda most trusted player, and not just career, but this year, very impressive against the Twins.
Yeah, had a really nice game early in the season against the Twins. Sometimes you can build upon that confidence that you have against a team. Eddie's certainly looking for that confidence and that traction today.
So maybe it is the Twins that'll help heat him up. Maybe, Monty, it's some of the adjustments he's been working on.
Yeah, and I think that's another thing. Once you make some adjustments, you see some results in that bullpen, you carry him out to the game. I think the first inning or two of this game will be very important for Edinson Volquez.
So that's one piece of the puzzle today. The other would be offensive production. Didn't have enough last night, and the Royals need to put up those crooked numbers to get the win. We discuss that coming up.
Field at Target Field. Now, the key for any team is to get a big inning, and a big inning is usually 3 or more runs an inning. For the Royals, it's just getting 2 or more runs in an inning.
Yeah, look, this offense can get that done. They've got the pieces that can do it, but it's important to table set. Okay, anyway, now that nice little flare, broken bat base hit, that was lucky, but look, they'll take that. Luck is important in this game, we all know that, but get those table setters on, and all it takes is a doink knock to get them in.
A win today, and the Royals win the series. It would be their 3rd consecutive winning series. One day in Minneapolis warmer than 79 degrees. 79, 78, and 79 again today. Mostly sunny. Nice crowd watching today in the deciding game of the series. Here's the Royals lineup today. Christian Colon will get a chance to play second base. So Raul Mondesi has the day off. And the Royals will be facing a tough pitcher, at least a tough pitcher against them. Our Academy Sports and Outdoors leaderboard, Hector Santiago with the White Sox and the Angels has a 1.89 ERA against the Royals, second best all time to John Lester, and the lowest opponent's batting average against the Royals.
Yeah, and that helps Santiago, who's looking for his first win as a Minnesota Twin. That helps him in the confidence department. But he really has some good off-speed pitches along with his cut fastball. Keeps him off balance well. He's done a good job against him, and you know that confidence factor is huge. So it's up to the Royals, man. Gotta get Volquez some runs. Get him some runs and take some pressure off of him so they can try to get this series here.
1 ball and 1 strike to Paulo Orlando.
He's got a plethora of pitches: fastball, changeup, slider, curve, and a cutter. Now the cutter's the least one used, but look, they've got to see him up, look up in the zone, and drive it.
That ball continues to carry, and Rosario to the wall, up against the wall, and Paulo Orlando is on his way to third base. He will go in standing and round third, but hold with a triple. Well, we came on the air today telling you the wind is blowing out to right field. It's not a hot day, but it's a warm day, and that ball just continued to carry.
Who said look him up in the zone? Look, that pitch was down below his knees. The ability to drive that pitch, that's all Paulo. Santiago, he thought he executed a good pitch down, but Paulo, good finish. Like the follow through on that. And you know what? He's running the whole time. So we're going to go back and call him Paulo Triple O. Starting it off just right. Now they've got to find a way to get that run home early.
So Cuthbert is swinging at the first pitch.
That's his 4th triple of the season, 10th in his career. He was off to the races. Been watching those Olympics and the track guys, and that it's coming back to him. Watching him run the bases is pretty cool.
That'll stay on the infield, and Dozier makes the play. 1 down.
There's 1 chance. There's 2 more chances, especially this opportunity here. Most important with less than 2. Locane's got to find a way. Now the Twins defense, their catcher Centennial having a hard time throwing out runners, as well as Kurt Suzuki, who's their main guy. So if they can get him on, let's see how Santiago's times are from when he lets go of that ball to home, but they should be able to get their running game in order. Got to get that run home here early.
No balls, 1 strike to Lorenzo Cain. Good hitless in this series, 0 for 9. He does have a couple of runs scored.
He's due. Good first pitch by Santiago.
One ball, 1 strike. And now Santiago ahead in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kerwin Danley, after last night, feeling pretty good about umpiring third base today.
Yeah, gets his little break down there from those foul tips.
Paul Nart is calling the balls and strikes.
Just put the ball in play. He's going to his little 2-strike approach here, fighting off anything close. Volquez, he has not been a good luck pitcher when it comes to getting runs. They've got to find a way to score him 4 or more. When they do, he's 15-2 since the start of 2015. He wins.
Good take. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Volquez has just received a total of 12 runs in his last 9 starts. 1 run or less in 6 of those 9. So he's been the bad luck starter for runs. That'll work.
That'll get it done. Kepler onto the warning track. So Orlando's triple turns into a run, and Lorenzo Cain gives the Royals a 1-0 lead.
Nice job. 44th RBI for Locane.
And now 2 down to Eric Hosmer. We were showing you the stellar numbers that Hector Santiago has against the Royals. He made his big league debut against the Royals back in 2011, and the first batter he faced was Eric Hosmer, and Santiago got a strikeout against his first big league hitter. It was the first season for both Santiago and Hosmer in the big leagues.
Royals are 39-17 when they score first.
One and two. Well hit to left field, but Grossman is there, and that's the inning. Paulo Orlando opens the game with a triple. Lorenzo Cain gets him home, and Edinson Volquez has a 1-0 lead as he takes the mound. On Friday and won. Minnesota scored in the first inning last night and won. And now the Royals have a 1-0 lead with the Twins coming up against Edinson Volquez. Juan Centeno is the only change, along with Kenny Vargas. Vargas will be at first base. Joe Mauer will be the designated hitter. So Vargas and Centeno in the starting lineup for the first time in this series. And Edinson Volquez just trying to get through the first. An 8.25 ERA in the first inning, tied for the highest in the major leagues.
He can do it if he keeps his tempo and his pitches down, just like that. Why? Where was that? That's exactly where he wants to stay. And this guy's a hot hitter too, by the way. Dozier, he's been raking. He's hit safely in 21 of his last 22 games. What's wrong with that?
2 balls, no strikes on Dozier.
Paul, really?
Diving play, Cuthbert. Double clutch. Safe at first base. He prevented an extra base hit, but not able to get Dozier after a great diving stop at third.
Oh, nice reaction. If he doesn't double clutch, he gets him. Look at that ready position. Knees bent, ready to go left and right. Third baseman's a reaction position. It's not one you got to worry about charging the ball all the time, but look at a nice pick by Haas.
Whoa,
Man,
wait a
telling you,
minute.
I don't know. That looked awfully close. They might want to look at that again. Haas is so good. Not only is his soft hands, but his footwork. He feels that bag. His feet are almost like fingers. They can tell exactly where he is from playing first base and doing it well, decorated with gold. I'm thinking he got it.
Royals will challenge.
But the low throw, the strong arm from Chesler got it done. If it throws higher, it takes longer to get there. So these guys on that left side of the infield, man, pitchers love having Cuthbert and Escobar over there making those plays for him. So right away, first hitter of the game could be a huge pickup for Volquez. Watch Haas. Let him stay low, and he comes up. Low to high. That's as slow as we can get it. Back of the glove. Out.
Out.
Thank you for slow motion
And
replay.
He is out.
Chesler Cuthbert. Give him a star early. First hitter. Very nice, Haas. Way to pick him up.
And also another win for the Royals connoisseur of replay, Bill Duplessis. Denny and I minted him with that title during the last series. So I just want to make you aware of that.
Thank you for telling me that. That's proper. When you have a coach like that that's helping them win games, Duper's now 20-9. Pretty impressive. Way to go, Bill Duplessis. Chesler had something to do with that.
Fouled away by Robbie Grossman. He hit one of the 3 Minnesota home runs last night. Twins have scored 8 runs in the first 2 games of the series and 7 on home runs. And they've hit the most home runs in the major league since July 1st. 2 balls and 1 strike.
We keep that out of his wheelhouse, down and in. Right there. He missed it.
Alex looking up into the sunlight, brings it down for the second out.
How about Christian Colon getting a start at second base? Hasn't erred in 51 games over there. Very steady. He's sure. He makes the routine play, and that's what you want out of a guy in the middle. Now his teammates and the whole Royals haven't made an error in the last 6 games. Keep it airtight. That's going to help Edison.
Here's Joe Mauer with 2 outs, nobody on.
Helping him get out of that first inning. Chesler right away. If he's on, or that ball gets by him for a double, sometimes that opens the floodgates for Edison in his first innings. We've seen that.
One and one. And Volquez, whether he pitches well or does not pitch well, it always seems to be a grind. A lot of base runners, pitches well with men on base, but not a guy who's going to rack up a lot of 1, 2, 3 innings.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I was talking with Dave Island before the game about his tempo. And tempo has a lot to do with that. Get the ball and throw it. So far, he's doing that. He's not posturing around the mound looking insecure and not confident, but that quick tempo helps the confident look.
And there's a base hit into center field for Mauer on a 2-1 pitch.
Mauer's the only hitter in that Twins lineup that has good numbers against Volquez. That makes him 10 for 23 with 1 homer. Over 400. Short, compact stroke.
Kenny Vargas appears in the series for the first time. He had a 2 home run game on Thursday in a doubleheader against the Astros. That was in game 1, his first multi-home run game. This is a guy a couple of years ago you figure the Twins would be building around. In the last 2 years, he's just been going back and forth between the Twins and AAA.
Just having some issues with being consistent at the plate.
couple of years ago, the guys that the Twins were hoping would turn this offense around, Kenny Vargas, Danny Santana, and Oswaldo Arcia, who is now with the Tampa Bay Rays. That's driven into deep left center field, and Alex backpedaling onto the track makes the play. Oh, a couple of hard hit balls. A great play by Cuthbert at third set the tone. 1-0 Royals at the end of one. That's right. That's who. Well, I bet Chesler Cuthbert wished he had driven in Paulo Orlando in the first inning after Paulo's triple, but popped out to second base and then makes up for it on defense, taking an extra base hit away from Brian Dozier in the bottom of the first inning.
And Locane picked him up. And that's what Chesler probably told Lorenzo when he got back in there. Hey, bud, thanks for picking me up there. That's what it's about, this game of baseball. You try to do the best job you can, but it doesn't always happen. It's hard to hit.
2-1 on Kendrys Morales.
Ooh. That's a good
long way to center field here. And Rosario makes a play at the track.
Ooh, I liked his swing.
He had an impressive opposite field home run as a right-hand batter on Friday against lefty Pat Dean.
That was the one there. I mean, a quarter of an inch higher on that ball, and he had a nice solo shot dead center.
Salvador Perez with one out. A low strike, 0-1. Salvi normally owns the Twins in this ballpark. 2 hits and 2 RBIs for Salvi in this series. One of those hits is a double. He has the second most home runs of any opposing player in this ballpark and the highest slugging percentage of anybody, Twins or their opponents, in the history of Target Field.
It's time for him to come out today. Put one in the seats. Loose grip on the bat. You can react quicker.
One and two.
July 25th. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Santiago made a mistake. Belled high. Salvi was there to meet it. Get the back underside. Get that backspin on it. Ah.
That's hit well to right center field. Kepler there to make the play. Royals are getting good swings, just missing.
We need to stop rooting right now. Quit that. But the swings look
talking
good.
to me, or are you talking to yourself?
Myself. I'm talking to myself. But look, the swings I'm liking. The swings are almost on him, but it's early runs that's important for Volquez to get this win. This is the game you play if you're the Royals. That this is the last game of my career. I'm going to go out and focus and do the job. Whether it's getting a bunt down, getting a runner in, really, really focus on the small details of the game that turn out to be big things.
And try not to get hit in the neck.
Yeah. And I need to stop rooting.
That's a swing. 0-2 on Alex.
Doesn't feel good getting hit in the neck.
And if you're wondering what that is in reference to, Rex Hudler's last professional game, his last professional plate appearance, he got hit in the neck.
Nice message.
So play like it's your last game today, but don't get hit in the neck.
Thank you.
3-pitch strikeout for Santiago, his first. Volquez back to the mound. Royals lead 1-0 to the bottom of the second. In last night's game against Tyler Duffy in the third inning to one of the deepest parts of this ballpark, which is one of the bigger ballparks in the league. As Max Kepler shows bunt and takes a strike. It's going to lead us into our sprint trivia question for today. Name the 3 Royals third basemen with 10 or more home runs in their rookie seasons. Colon takes care of Kepler, and there's one down. 3 rookie third basemen with 10 or more home runs.
I got a letter from a fan the other day that said that she didn't like us giving the answers early in the game, right away. It's hard to keep everybody happy, but this one particular fan, she says, quit giving the answers away. I haven't written her back yet, but I will. Tell her we'll work on it. But I can give her one right now. I think it's Kevin Seitzer's got to be in there.
She's going to write you another letter.
Look, it's hard when the question goes out if you know one of the answers, or sometimes none of them. It takes us a few innings to figure it out.
Well, I've always said, we go game show approach here. When you're on a game show and they give you a question, they don't say, and we'll give you 3 or 4 innings to come up with the answer.
That's right.
You either know or you don't know.
Which could be an hour and a half.
Pops out of Salvi's glove. That is not an easy play. He made that look easy, but he did not have full balance. His momentum was falling toward the third base dugout and still made a strong throw to first base.
These guys are so athletic. Now Salvi, here again, look at the great angle right there. And an easy shot with a golden arm, tremendous accuracy, attention to detail. It's natural. You don't think when you make a play like that, you just react.
Now, are these three rookie third basemen other than Chesler, or so there's only one left? Kevin Seitzer and one other guy.
What a candy question today.
George Brett, Joe Randa.
They're hitting it to the wrong guy, I can tell you that. Colon, he's hot.
2 scoreless innings. 1-0 Royals at the end of 2. Lorenzo Cain sacrifice fly. Paulo Orlando opened the game with a triple. So it's Alcides Escobar, Christian Colon, and then Paulo Orlando against Hector Santiago, who has set down 6 in a row after the Paulo Orlando triple. No balls, 1 strike. George Brett, I looked it up. George Brett hit 2 home runs his rookie year in 133 games.
Wow, that's amazing. Because, you know, he's
Kepler sliding across the line and did not make the play.
He's an easy name to throw whenever we have questions like that.
And in his second year, Kepler just whiffed it, but you can imagine he knew the wall was coming up. George in his second year hit 11 home runs, but drove in 90. That's hard to do, to drive in 90 runs with only 11 home runs.
Yeah, it tells you him using the whole field, man, using that middle of the field the way he could hit. More hits than any third baseman in the history of the game.
Base hit for Esky. Good swing on a breaking ball. Leadoff man on for the second time.
They're getting some really good swings on him today so far early. Good balance. Just picks up his foot and sets it down. I like it. Little movement there. You don't have to load your hips. A lot of guys do now in today's modern game. They load them hips with that flamingo kick, and you know, sometimes it's too much. By the time they put their foot down, their timing's off. But just Escobar like that. He just picked up his foot and set it down, trusted his hands.
Push bunt. Santiago runs to the line and tags out Colon. So sacrifice gets Escobar to second base. 1 down, top of the order coming up, and here's Joel.
Orlando is coming back, had that leadoff triple, and how timely, because on High B Royals Live we did our installment of Monty's Moment, and the question today was sort of Olympic style: who would win in a race from home to first? Most guys took Dyson. And then who would win home to third? And most of the guys in that race took the former Brazilian track star Paulo Orlando. And you got to think that that 10.23 seconds today would be even quicker. He was a little bit slow out of the box, certainly looked like a possible home run ball. But most of the guys going with Paulo for that longer distance race in the gold medal. Monty did throw in an extra category too. We should have had Hud as one of the contestants, but he said who would win, Salvador Perez, Kendrys Morales, or Mike Jershely? And then he threw me in one of those two. Jersh received no votes at all.
Wow. Well, Jersh has had a long battle with his knees in his career.
Paulo is out. Escobar's at second with 2 down. So Chesler, Cuthbert, another chance to drive in a run, our Toyota League leaders. He is hitting .500 with runners in scoring position since July 1st, second best in the American League.
That's pushed his overall total to 325 this year. That's excellent.
Outside. So our trivia question: Chesler is one of 3 Royals rookie third basemen with 10 home runs. The other is Kevin Seitzer. 1 left. It is not Mark Teahen. It is not Joe Randa. It's a bit of a trick question. Not a total trick question, but a bit of a trick question. Mark Teahen, by the way, had 7 his rookie year. Joe Randa 1. Want another hint?
Yeah.
He is on the current roster.
Okay.
Pulled foul. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Alex Gordon.
Alex Gordon. 2007. He's been playing left field for so long that it's easy to forget that he was a rookie third baseman.
And a gold and platinum gold glover in left field.
Check swing. No swing. First base umpire is Andy Fletcher. 2-1. Chesler has plenty of time to match those totals. 14 home runs. Two and two.
There they are. Looking to support this team for a series win here in Minneapolis. Got a piece of it. No, he didn't. Hit him in the back.
Handing over. Good throw by Centennial. Vargas lost track of the outs. Or maybe he was trying to get a 4th out.
So put it in the bank for the next inning.
perfect degrees at first pitch today in Minneapolis. Great day to be outside, and for many years, if you wanted to watch the Royals and the Twins on a Sunday afternoon like this, you would be forced to go inside.
And it was stale in there. Nothing against it. But on a day like today, no wonder. They wanted this outdoor ballpark. They've been calling for it for a while. Rhino, you played in that place, and so did I. This indoor baseball is different. One thing you're guaranteed, though, to play each day. That's the good thing about managers like that, coming to the ballpark, knowing you're going to have batting practice.
Volquez to the bag unassisted to get Juan Centeno. And there's one down. T-Mobile gives us our greater coverage of baseball. The Yankees tie their longest winning streak of the year, 4 in a row. They're 5.5 back in the East. Now they have 4 teams that they have to pass to get to first place, but they're in it. David Ortiz, he says no matter what, he's going to retire, but he leads the major leagues with 64 extra base hits, the most ever by a player his age or older. And Jose Altuve, MVP candidate, coming up on 1,000 career hits. And Jose Altuve has a 51 lead for the batting title. He's batting .365. The next closest hitter is hitting .314 until Paulo Orlando qualifies.
That's right. I like his chances. He can do too many things. Good speed. You know, he can get the infield hits as well as the other hits. But our guy Paulo, he's not too far off. How many more at-bats does he need?
He's driven into deep left field. Rosario had an opposite field home run yesterday, and Alex Gordon bangs into the wall and takes a hit away from Rosario. He's got good opposite field power.
He does, but he hit it to the wrong guy. Alex fears no wall in any ballpark in any country. Look at him. He didn't even look where he was. He knew exactly where he was. Hit in the heel of his glove. He closes his glove just in time before it pops out at the end. He's platinum.
Paulo, by the way, is fewer than 40 plate appearances away from qualifying.
Okay, thank you. Wow. Good concentration and good defense from Volquez so far.
Two 2-0 on Dozier. So Paulo, in order to qualify, would need about 3.8 plate appearances per game.
Leading off, you're going to get the maximum you can get, 4 or more. When you're hitting that down that lineup 8 and 9, that's when sometimes you only get 3 a game.
What? 3-0 on Dozier. He had a smash up the third base line in the first inning, and Chesler Cuthbert made a diving play through to first. Dozier was ruled safe. The Royals used a challenge, and the call was overturned.
I can't really blame him if he doesn't want to pitch to him, throw it for a ball. Whatever. He's hot. This guy, you don't want to let him beat you. See, he's dead pull. He's sitting up there to pull. He'll 2 strikes. He might try to doink one in there to right, but he's having some kind of a season. 25 homers. Be careful. Stay out there where Salvi is. Oh.
Alex all the way back and runs out of run.
Guy's firecracker hot. Put him on. Walk him. 3-1.
Well, look at where the target is and where the ball was.
Right where he's looking. And when you're hot like that, look, he doesn't flamingo kick. You don't need to. uses a good low base. Spreads out his legs wide. He's got good balance, but he trusts his hands. And just got it right. First mistake of the day to the wrong guy. He's off the corner. He wanted to be off the corner and even ball four if possible. Because he's hot.
Right to Hosmer, and that's the inning. Minnesota has scored 8 of its 9 runs in this series by way of a home run. Field, and right next door with grass on the roof, Target Center, the home of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Paulo Orlando tripled and scored on a Lorenzo Cain sac fly in the first inning. Brian Dozier hit a solo home run for Minnesota in the third. Cain leads off the fourth. Santiago misses down and away. So you think 1-1 at the end of 3. Good start for the pitchers. And yet there have been quite a few hard hit outs for both teams. Two and one to Cain.
Low Cain, a .347 hitter against lefties.
That's drilled right center field. Kepler back, looking up, and off the wall. Cain is into second base with a leadoff double.
Gave it a ride. Stayed behind it. Pitch was out over the plate. Centennial wanted it in, and he missed. Royals want to continue to take advantage of mistakes. Look for them. Haas backing off the plate. Wants to utilize his strength, and that is center to left field. Staying inside of that baseball is his big time strength. But in this situation here, he might want to think about pulling it with a runner at second and nobody out. He can get him over and in with a pull shot. He's got to get a pitch in there.
Hosmer went the other way and lined to left first time up. 1-1.
Oz was thinking there. That wasn't a full swing.
Inside, and before he backed off the plate, that might have been a strike. At least the pitch that close to him. He was forced to swing at it sometimes because when he was on the plate, that was over the inside part of the plate.
Swinging in a lot of those.
Off speed, 2-2.
Pulling that right shoulder off.
A reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, look forward to Miller Time later in today's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Tapped out in front of the plate. One away, no advance. Santiago got Hosmer to make contact with a half swing.
Fans, the weekend starts early because every Thursday home game is Buck Night. Come enjoy Royals baseball while saving some hard-earned cash. Enjoy delicious hot dogs and peanuts for just $1 a piece. Get your tickets now for the next Thursday's Buck Night at the K by calling 1-800-6-ROYALS or online at royals.com/promotions. That guy's right on it right now.
Morales going for it all. No balls, one strike. He drove a Santiago fastball to the warning track in center field in the second inning. He did not get a base hit, but it might have been the loudest contact of the day so far. That's ruled a swing, and it's 0-2. Still 0-2 on Morales.
Morales was winding up to hit that one. See if he can use his two-strike approach here. Doesn't need much of a stride. Just trust the hands to put it in play. Kepler and Wright has 7 outfield assists. Pretty good arm.
That last pitch from Santiago to Morales will probably go down as a changeup, but last year Santiago was the only major league pitcher who threw a screwball, at least by the people who measure pitches. Look how far out of the strike zone that was. But this year, when you look at his pitch breakdown, screwball does not register. But I remember Santiago being one of the few, if not only, pitchers in the game that throws a screwball.
Yep. Just do that by turning your wrist inward instead of outward. At the rotation, take it away. It's like a changeup, but really, when it moves out on the right, it can be very deceptive.
That'll be out of play.
Morales, he wants that one back. Just got out in front of it and underneath it.
Royals have had the leadoff man on in 3 of 4 innings. Paulo Orlando tripled in the first and scored. Escobar singled leading off the third. And now Kane a leadoff double in the fourth. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I like the at-bat. He's fouling off the borderline pitches. He's going to wait for something up.
Going to try and pitch him inside, and he left it away. Dozier throws out Morales, so he missed the spot, but still got an out. Kane goes to third. Salvador Perez flied to right field in the second inning. Santiago will get a lot of fly ball outs. He is typically near the bottom of ground ball percentage. So this ballpark, you would think, would be a good fit for him. Inside for ball one.
Time for a little pepper swing, short and quick. You could fly the Goodyear blimp right through that hole. They're playing him to pull shortstop. I mean, all he's got to do is get it by the pitcher to get that run home.
Got the call, 2-1.
You could see some of those Thousand Lakes from up there.
Yeah, is that a shot from the Goodyear blimp? What's that cable that's just line drive, base hit left field, so he didn't need the middle. Salvi jumps on an off-speed breaking ball, and now it's kicked around by Grossman in left field, and Salvi goes to second. 2-1 Royals. Royals come right back after the Twins tie it in the third.
Waited him out for the mistake. Good job. You see him up, and he's not overpowering. The ball looks like a grapefruit. It's huge. Oops.
Ball one to Alex Gordon. Santiago struck him out with a fastball in the second inning. So the Royals have had the leadoff man on 3 times, twice, and the leadoff man has come around to score. And that's a base hit into right field. And Mike Jershely belatedly was going to send Salvador Perez to the plate when Kepler bobbled it, but Salvi was already slowing down going into third.
Well, we talk about that a lot. The third base coach can only send you depending on the effort you're going to give him coming around. The ball was hit hard. A nice job of finding a hole by Alex. So Salvi was assuming that he wasn't going to be sent. But he gave pretty good effort there. That was a good effort. Just trying to make sure. Escobar up there, coming up. Chance with 2 outs to put a crooked number up there for this inning.
Escobar single to left leading off the third inning. Hit well to center field. Rosario was playing shallow, and that is over his head. It will score 2, and Escobar is on his way to third. And he rounded third. The Royals have a 3-run 4th inning. All 3 runs coming with 2 outs.
Very nice. And Escobar, he'll take his 4th triple with a couple of stakes attached. Way to go, Alex. Keep that line moving with that 2-out base hit. Didn't score Salvi, but Escobar says, I can take care of that. 88 miles an hour. Did I say grapefruit? How about that ball looking like a watermelon? Just tattered it, battered it. Not a good route to the ball. If that's a Royals outfielder, Paulo Orlando or Kane, that ball's caught. And there's the difference defense right there. first game all year, Royals have hit 2 triples in it. Both of them ended up being big.
Trip to the mound for Minnesota pitching coach Neil Allen to visit with Santiago before he takes on Christian Colon. This is a number. Whoa. Way inside to Colon. So he'll go to first base with 2 down. And Santiago, at least with his body language, suggesting that he didn't mean to do it. He immediately threw his arms up in the air and said something to Colon as Christian got up and headed to first.
Oh, how about the shin guard? That's there to protect against fouling a ball off your foot, not getting drilled.
And now the 8th man to come up, Paulo Orlando, who has already tripled against Santiago today. Down and in with a changeup.
Santiago not appearing to be as confident as he looked in that Angels uniform.
Well, in his first 2 starts with Minnesota, his ERA was just under 7. And now he's given up 4 runs in 3 2/3 innings today.
I like it. You know, we saw from the very first inning offensively the Royals get good passes on his pitches. Really good swings. It'd just be a matter of time.
Good changeup. 1 ball, 1 strike. We saw that with another lefty, Tommy Milone. Remember how tough Tommy Milone was as a member of the A's, but when he came to Minnesota, all of a sudden the Royals turned him into a different pitcher. Good swing at a pitch up. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Santiago, before today, had made 7 starts against the Royals and had never allowed more than 3 runs. And now the Royals have 4 in fewer than 4 full innings. And already working in the bullpen, Ryan O'Rourke, who was just called up 2 days ago. Inside to Paulo, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
You give Paulo that much in the middle of the infield there, you know, that's where he gets all of his hits. They're playing him just like they did Salvi.
Still 2-2. Escobar has driven in 2 of the 3 runs in this inning with a triple. Hit well to left field. Backing up Grossman. 3-run second deck home run for Paulo Orlando. And it's a 6-run top of the 4th inning.
Oh, Paulo, stay hot. I was just getting ready to talk about the swing he hit his triple on. But not only is he Paulo Triple-O, he's Paulo Homero.
That second R. Very important with that nickname.
Look at this. Oh, man, they are finding Santiago just in the nick of time.
That is the 9th man to come up, Cuthbert. The Royals not only score 6 runs in the inning, they score 6 runs with 2 outs.
There you go, steady Eddie. Have a little cushion.
triple, scored on a Kane sac fly, and then caps that 6-run 4th inning with a 3-run home run. So maybe we're talking about Paulo Cycolo today. He's got the triple and the home run out of the way, and we're still very early in the game.
Would be a huge thrill for him and everybody watching.
Joe Mauer singled to center in the 1st inning. The Twins had just tied the game. They got a home run from Brian Dozier to tie the game at 1, and the Royals answered with 6. 1-1 on Mauer.
How about some production out of that leadoff spot? Paulo driving the bus, leaving no doubt.
Two and 1.
There you go. Steady, nice and easy. Stay down, keep using that defense. Put some more of your teammates on the highlight reel. Let them make their plays.
2 and 2. I want to know what his record is when the Royals score 7 or more runs. Holtzy's all over it. Mauer, Vargas, Kepler, 3, 4, 5 hitters coming up. Salvador Perez sets up inside, and that pitch was outside, but still almost a strike. For the record, the Royals are 6-0 when they score 7 or more runs for Edinson Volquez.
Nice.
Thanks, Holtzy.
But this is baseball, you know. It's kind of be. I got to stay guarded. It's still early, and the Twins, they can hit.
Well, he certainly did not want to do that. A leadoff walk after a 6-run top of the 4th inning. You can experience a night of the undead at Kauffman Stadium. Royals and Twins zombie night on Friday. But try and make it family friendly if you can. Or you can get your face painted at Kauffman Stadium. Those who purchase the theme ticket package will receive a one-of-a-kind Royals zombie figurine. A family-friendly night of the undead.
Okay, now
coming up.
I like some of the shots in our promo, especially that first girl that was on there. She's only missing one thing: some fangs. She needed some fangs to go along with that, and that would have sold that whole deal. But maybe that wasn't family friendly.
Yeah. One and 1 on Vargas. He flied out to left field in the 1st inning. Out of play. 1 and 2.
That ball comes down, it's going to be a souvenir. Oh, he missed it. It bounced and kicked back where no one could get it. Oh, there it is. All right, thank you.
Vargas remind you of anybody at the plate?
Sure. A young Big Papi. And that wore that same uniform.
Started his big league career here. People forget that David Ortiz was first signed by the Seattle Mariners and came to the Twins in a trade. Similar size, similar stance. David Ortiz is from the Dominican Republic. Kenny Vargas is from Puerto Rico. Both the Twins and the Red Sox have spring training in Fort Myers. So 2 years ago, David Ortiz noticed Kenny Vargas in a spring training game and took him under his wing.
Vargas, switch hitter. Big Papi just left-handed. And really, you think Big Papi needs to hit from the right side of the plate? Absolutely not. He's wearing the whole league of baseball, both leagues, National League and American League, wearing them out.
Way upstairs, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Minnesota Twins got David Ortiz from the Seattle Mariners for Dave Hollins. And then David Ortiz was non-tendered by Minnesota.
Ooh, that means let go.
Strike 3 called. Volquez second strikeout, 1 down in the 4th inning.
That's a hanger right there. Good thing he didn't swing at that.
David Ortiz, non-tendered after the 2002 season, signed by the Red Sox, and was the designated hitter of the year in his first year with Boston in 2003, and never stopped hitting. Kepler grounded out to Colon at second base in the 2nd inning. Had a few swings like that this inning. Volquez has really tied up Vargas. Fastball's riding inside, and now Kepler 0-2.
Dave Island has been working overtime with Volquez, trying to get him to stay upright on his back leg, not collapsing that back leg, because when he does, it opens up the shoulder and leaves the ball up and out over the plate. So he took him out to shortstop back at home before we came on the road trip, and he rolled him some ground balls from short and said, hey, throw it all the way across the diamond to first. Let's see how your mechanics are.
Made him backhand it.
Yeah.
To really emphasize keeping that glove shoulder closed.
But then when he came out throwing, you have to stand up as a shortstop to be able to throw all the way across the diamond.
No play. Could read Eric Hosmer's lips. My bad. Hosmer swiped at it and the ball didn't stay in the webbing. So a walk and now an error puts 2 on with 1 out.
Short hop. He's going to guess on it. Just went off the end of his glove. It's too late.
So when he makes a play like that, and we don't see Hosmer do that very often, you know, sometimes we say a ground ball stayed down, it flattens out. If Hosmer swipes at that ball, was he expecting a trickier hop than he actually got?
Yeah, he's so good at starting low and coming up high. That's how you do it, because if you start with your glove position up, it's harder to go down. So he knows that art. Now look, see where his glove? It's on the ground. Now he's going to time it, and he just mistimed it.
Yep. Ball stayed down. His glove was too high. Polanco struck out in the 2nd inning. Switch hitter. Another chance for Hosmer. And Volquez gets to the bag. 2 down. Mauer to third. And Kepler up to second base. So a big matchup right here. Royals lead by 6. They just scored 6 runs in the top half of this inning. If Escobar is out, and that makes it a much steeper hill to climb for the Twins. If Escobar comes through, well, the Twins feel like they're back in the game again. And another grinded out inning for Edinson Volquez.
Right after Volquez, his offense helped him with 6 runs. Comes out and walks Mauer And then his tempo this inning has not been good. It's been slow. It's not a hey, let's get back in that dugout and keep the momentum on our side. Now, if he can retire him here without giving him a run, that would almost qualify for getting him in and out of there.
1 ball, 1 strike. And it doesn't need to come across as being critical, but some pitchers are just grinded out type of guys. And the difference between Edinson Volquez early in his career, when he had the stuff but didn't have the numbers, was he didn't pitch well with men on base, and now better as a veteran with pitching with men on base. Most of the time there are men on base. That will slice foul and out of play. Case in point, Volquez has 1 1-2-3 inning so far today. And in his last 5 starts, he has 4 1-2-3 innings. So that's fewer than 1 per start. So he's just a guy that deals with a lot of base runners. Kept the pitch down on Escobar and stays ahead. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
But he's allowed 10 hits in back-to-back starts for the first time in his career. So that's why Dave Island is working mechanically with him to try to figure it out. As you know, he's had a long career, and for that to happen, there's something going on there. He's leaving the ball up because he's collapsing his back leg and not staying behind it and on top, down through. Dave Island, folks, he pointed to that left shoulder, and he always refers to playing defense on the left side of the infield, Dave Island. But if your shoulder's not going towards your target and you're opening your shoulder, can you make a good accurate throw with it open? No, chances are not. The same thing as a pitcher, north and south, heading that shoulder right down through his target.
That'll be pulled foul.
Volquez has got to find a way here. Don't let them back in the game.
To Hosmer, and it's by him. 2-run score, and it's 7-3.
We rarely see Haas make an error in a game at all, let alone 2. That hurt. Told you how he normally keeps his glove down and then comes up. Well, there it was. He was up. It was too late to go down.
So a walk and an error both score. And the Twins answer after the Royals got 6 in the top of the 4th inning. They have just now ruled Escobar's ball in play a base hit. So the official score wanted to look at it a couple of times before deciding hit over error. 1-1 on Centennial.
Wow. A hit, they scored it, and 2 RBIs, and their explanation was because Volquez wouldn't have got over and covered first base in time.
Escobar goes up to get it, and that ends the inning. So the Royals gave the Twins a couple of gifts, a walk and an error, and Minnesota turns both of those into runs. Lee Summit Mazda game break. We head to Detroit after the game today. 3-game series with the Tigers. That's the next closest team to the Royals in the standings. Ian Kennedy and Daniel Norris tomorrow. Danny Duffy and Justin Verlander on Tuesday. Giordano Ventura and Anibal Sanchez on Wednesday. And the Royals are going to be seeing a little different Tigers team. They had, over the course of 5 days, some key guys going on the disabled list. Nick Castellanos on the disabled list. Jordan Zimmerman on the disabled list. Cameron Maben went on the disabled list. Jose Iglesias, their shortstop, on the disabled list. Those guys just over the course of 5 days.
Just what they didn't need.
Kane to short. Escobar bobbled, throws, and that cost the Twins. They're going to call that a base hit. So that was not ordinary effort, and yet if Escobar backhands, he has a good shot of getting Lorenzo Cain. And now Lorenzo has his second hit. He has a sac fly, a double, a run scored, and the Royals had the leadoff man on for the 4th time in 5 innings.
Ran right through the bag. He earned it.
Hosmer pulls it foul, and you know he's a man on a mission. Ground ball that got by him off the bat of Escobar resulted in 2 runs. He had committed an error in that same inning. No balls, 2 strikes. Just outside. Missouri Lottery Fox tracks. And that was the right call by home plate umpire Paul Nart.
'94th infield hit by the Royals this year. That's 5th in the American League. 5th best.
Kane got a good jump, and Hosmer fouls it away and had to make contact down in the count. Kane was not fooled at all by Santiago's move to first, and he picked this up right away.
Sure did, and that's what you do off lefties. First movement. First time he lifts up that foot, just go. Even if he throws over to first base, continue your path and put pressure on Vargas to make a good throw to get you out.
Not running, and Hosmer bloops it into left field. Back come the Royals. 2 on, nobody out. And that'll bring Paul Molitor out of the Minnesota dugout. So Hector Santiago, eyebrows were raised, mine included, when the Angels gave up Santiago for Ricky Nolasco. But now Santiago, as a Minnesota Twin, has given up 16 runs in 15 innings as a Twin. Ryan O'Rourke is a Chevy call to the bullpen. is brought to you by your local Kansas City area Chevy dealers. Visit for great prices on the all-new 2016 Malibu. By Panera Bread, food as it should be with 24 KC Metro locations. And by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price every day. Hector Santiago in 13 games against the Royals before today allowed 10 runs. 10 runs in 13 games. Pretty good. Today, 7 runs in 4 innings. And it could be 9 if the 2 runners out there come around to score. Kane at second, Hosmer at first, and Ryan O'Rourke facing Kendrys Morales. Outside, ball 1.
O'Rourke, not overpowering lefty. 88 to 93 with his fastball. Slider and change. He loves his slider.
Two and 0. Ryan O'Rourke was called up just a couple of days ago from the minor leagues, with Tommy Malone going on the disabled list. Good swing by Morales. 2 balls and 1 strike.
He knew that heater was coming. 2-0. That's the advantage of a hitter getting ahead in the count. Pitcher wants to come in there. Right-handed, Morales, higher average, and he's got better power, but he sees more right-handed pitching.
Two and 2. Ryan O'Rourke is a product of the Twins organization, coming up through their minor leagues. He did not get to the big leagues until he was 27 years old. That was last season. Full count.
Having issues with the sliders. That's 3 of them now he's thrown in.
Morales hasn't even flinched on him.
Right. That one there he swung at, it was up in the zone, but he's missed with 3 of them. Let's see what he comes with here.
A shot to left field. Kane holds at third. And the Royals have the bases loaded with nobody out. And the Royals, in 4 innings, plus 3 batters, have 10 hits. And Chesler Cuthbert is the only Royal that has not reached. Christian Colon is hitless, but he was hit by a pitch and he scored a run. So that those 10 hits and the 7 runs have been spread out evenly. And here's the player who has the highest career slugging percentage at Target Field, Salvador Perez. He is flied to right and singled to left. That single was in the Royals' 6-run 4th inning. He drove in a run and he scored a run. That got Centeno, and the count is 0-2. Jim Thome, the only player on that list that played for Minnesota. And that's a pretty slim margin from Martinez to Longoria, Longoria to Cabrera, Cabrera to Thome, but then pretty wide margin when you go from Thome to Salvador Perez. Good to see Jim Thome in the house today.
That's right. Quality human being.
Letting his hair go in retirement.
Yep.
A lot of guys will do that.
One of my favorites all time.
1-2.
Salvi can be patient. I mean, looking for a strike. Now, 2-strike approach would be good. Trying to get him with that slider down and in.
2-2. To this point, the Royals are not biting at O'Rourke's off-speed pitches. and not even a check swing. I would imagine he and Centeno were surprised they couldn't get Kendrys Morales to bite on those pitches, and now Perez has taken the count from 0-2 to 2-2. Breaking ball stayed up into the corner and foul off the stone wall.
Wait just a tad longer. Oh, when that ball's up there, it looks big to the hitter.
Sliced, foul. Pretty hard to hit a pitch there. Down and in like that off the right field line. Vote for the Royals Player of the Month at one of the 7 Rally House locations in the Kansas City metro area. All participants will be entered to win a majestic prize pack.
Oh, that little Royals fan got that foul ball. There you go.
Foul tip and a strikeout.
Surprised him. Good pitch up and out of the zone. Salvi was looking soft out over.
Alex is 1 for 2 today with a run scored. Off speed for strike 1.
All right.
Alex 1 for 4 this season with him loaded.
Oh, and 2. One and 2 on Alex. Ryan O'Rourke, very late in his professional career, was converted to a lefty specialist. He just struck out a right-hand batter, Salvador Perez, and now it's 2 and 2 on Alex. Grounded to second. And the Royals come up empty, having the bases loaded and nobody out. And that'll give Minnesota some momentum. Big game for the Royals so far. 7 runs, 10 hits. They did have the bases loaded with nobody out in the 5th inning when Ryan O'Rourke came to the rescue. Got a strikeout and a double play to hold the Royals scoreless. Fouled away by Eddie Rosario. He flied to the wall in left field in the 3rd inning. Alex Gordon made a leaping play. Rosario has good opposite field power. He had a long home run to left center field last night. Base hit into center field. MLB.TV Premium is the #1 live streaming sports service. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD at home, in the office, or on the go. You'll get real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch-by-pitch tracking, and more. MLB.TV Premium also includes a free at-bat premium subscription. Your thoughts?
North Dakota State Bisons.
Really?
Well protected.
It's impressive.
It's not going to get any foul balls to the noggin.
Brian Dozier has grounded to 3rd and homered. One ball, one strike.
Dozier's in quite a groove. I liked his quote I saw in a newspaper. Everything feels really comfortable right now. Hitting a baseball is never easy, but the more you simplify it, it makes it a lot easier. Tells me he's eliminating the thinking. He's just going up there, seeing it, and hitting it.
Royals will take another look, but it appeared that Rosario beat the throw.
Very nice throw by Salvi from his knee. Rosario with a good jump. They're going to let him have the bag. His 5th.
When you look at what Salvi did to make it that close, that is impressive.
So quick.
Volquez makes a good pitch on Dozier, so he will not advance Rosario. But backhanding a breaking ball in the dirt, throwing from his knees, and it was still this close.
Yeah. Puts the ball on the first base side of the bag, he gets it.
Robbie Grossman is 0 for 2. 0-1. Oh, 2. Grossman hit one of the 3 Minnesota home runs last night. Now 8 of the 11 runs Minnesota has scored in this series have been with home runs. Still 0-2.
want to give Grossman anything too good here. Now, the last 4 starts versus left-handed batters, Volquez has given up a .511 average. 3 doubles, triple, and 3 homers. So keep that. Just give him a waste pitch. That's right.
Close. No swing. Kerwin Danley is the third base umpire.
That was borderline there. Could have went either way. Still ahead. Nothing too good.
Still 1-2 on Robbie Grossman.
Bat boy just came out to give Salvador Perez his sunglasses. Cut down the glare.
No.
2-2.
Now, to see that bat boy handing him to him, he looks just like Matt Strom. He even hops over the line like
Good
Matt Strom.
footwork.
You see that? You know how Strom jumps over the line there? Yeah, very similar. But I'm sure Matt Strom is out in that Royals bullpen. Not in there being the bat boy.
Struck him out. 2 down. Question is, have you seen that bat boy and Matt Strom in the same room together?
No, not side by side.
Okay.
No. But I saw him walk on the field yesterday, the bat boy, and I called him by Matt. I said, "Hey, Matt, where are you going?" And he had he had a glove on his left hand, and so he's a right-hander. And I said, "You got the wrong glove."
Fascinating stuff, Bud.
Okay. Like to have fun at the ballpark.
Outside to Mauer. He singled in the first inning and then walked leading off the 4th and scored. Speaking of sunglasses, Joe Mauer is using them this year for the first time as a hitter and admitted this past off season that the ball was looking a little fuzzy to him the last couple of years, perhaps the result of concussions, the same concussions that ended his days as a catcher. He was a 3-time Gold Glove winner as a catcher, and apparently before the games he uses special strobe glasses during batting practice, which helps his focus.
Yeah, look, that's a big-time advantage. Imagine the hitters in the old days. They'd love to have that opportunity to cut that glare down, especially before they had a backdrop. It's all dark so that the hitters can see the ball better. Back in the day, they had people sitting out there with T-shirts. Tough to pick up that ball with that background.
2-1 on Mauer.
I remember Red Shandy's when he was a coach on the Cardinal bench and I was riding the Pine for 9. We'd sit there and I'd pick his brain and I'd say, "Red, you guys didn't even wear helmets back in the day." He says, "No, can't believe what it was like at Wrigley Field with the people in white T-shirts sitting in the background in the dead center field. You couldn't see the ball and it was dangerous and hitters were nervous and wondering why they didn't come up with helmets sooner."
And that's why they played 1 hour and 52-minute games.
That's right.
2-2. It reminds me of a caravan I did years ago with Tony Oliva. I've told this story before. Minnesota Twins Hall of Famer, talking about facing Sandy Koufax in the 1965 World Series. And Tony said, in baseball, you see the ball and you hit the ball. But when you face a Sandy Koufax, you see the ball. And that's probably how hitters felt at Wrigley Field and Fenway Park before they started roping off those bleachers. Minnesota's going to get another run. The leadoff single turns into a run. And the Royals lead is 3.
You can add to Mauer's 286 average with the runner in scoring position there. Stayed inside the ball. That's where he hits most of his base hits, are to the opposite field. Fastball up.
On Vargas. He is flied to left and struck out. Oh, and 2. One and 2 on Vargas. He hasn't had a good swing yet against Edinson Volquez.
Doesn't look
a lot of abbreviated swings like that one.
Yeah, not comfortable. He's either guessing or he's not picking the ball up. Sometimes you're going to guess a certain pitch, but when you're down in the count like that, that's why you say 2-strike approach, shorten everything up. And just try to put the ball in play so you don't get fooled.
And we'll do it again. Colon backs to shallow right field for some extra range on the right side. Otherwise, the Royals play Vargas straight ahead. Full count with Kepler on deck, and Kepler would represent the tying run. And he's been a dangerous hitter in the American League since the beginning of July. Cuthbert has just enough room. So the Twins keep chipping away, down by 6 at one point. Now the Royals lead is 3. Volquez, but he has big run support today. The Royals' big inning was a 6-run fourth. Alcides Escobar leads off our Sonic Slam inning. Our contestant is Amy Bates from St. Joseph. If the Royals hit a home run out of the park in this inning, Amy wins $1,500. If the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park, Amy wins $25,000 from Sonic and the Royals. Ryan O'Rourke's first full inning, and a breaking ball is down and into Alcides Escobar as we welcome in Royals Hall of Famer Denny Matthews. Hi, Denny.
Hi, you guys.
What's up, buddy? How's Minnesota treating you?
Oh, splendidly.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Picked a good trip to make.
Certainly. Some guys know how to pick them.
Beautiful. Weather's unbelievable.
Beautiful blue sky. Big puffy clouds. Baseball weather, isn't it?
Believe it.
Pulled on the ground to third. Polanco throws out Escobar. First time Escobar has been retired today. He's 2 out of 3. Royals last inning had the bases loaded, nobody out, and Ryan O'Rourke got a strikeout and a ground ball double play. Otherwise, this game might be over.
Yeah, I was going to say they had a great chance to really blow a hole in this thing and came up empty, kept the Twins in the game. The ball is, did you see those rabbits? Ball is just jumping.
Yeah. And right away we realized that with the Paulo Orlando triple.
Yes, yes.
Another chance for Polanco. He whiffs. Escobar backs it up. He juggles. And Colon is on.
Twins don't catch it real well, do they?
One of the worst, but this guy's been catching it with his bat. Got a chance to hit for the cycle, Denny. Watch these swings. The left is a triple, the first one. The second one was the homer, but almost identical. Don't need to draw on anything. Just show you how both pitches were down, so he had to lift them. So the balls were down. Watch the follow through. One hand takeoff, great follow through. Right there, freeze it, identical. Now the one on the left, the triple, he's coming out of the box. He sees that, but the other one was a no-doubter. Good for him, huh? He's really putting on a clinic, isn't he? A hitting clinic, Denny?
He's done everything in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Offense, defense, clutch hits, starting rallies. I think he likes the leadoff spot.
No question.
Chevy call to the bullpen for Minnesota with right-hand batters coming up. It's Michael Tonkin. By Dodge. Find your summer of performance with great deals at the Dodge Summer Clearance Event. Twin Cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnie and Paulie, the original Twins logo, shaking hands over the Mississippi River. Here they are.
Classic.
Mike Tonkin comes on for the 51st time and gets Paulo Orlando with a runner at first and 1 out.
Did you notice Paulie kind of resembles Harmon Killebrew? A little bit.
I agree with you.
I guess a little bit. So Paulo has the 2 most difficult hits out of the way, trying to hit for the cycle. He has tripled and homered. Way outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Triple to the opposite field. His home run to left landed in the second deck.
Tonkin.
Paulo Orlando is hitting .330, Hud.
Yeah. Tonkin, 87 to 93 sinking fastball, slider change. Throw him the double ball. Get the double out of the way.
Way inside. 3-1.
You ever heard this many people be this quiet?
The last time I remember this many people being this quiet was the 8th inning at Minute Maid Park in Game 4 of last year's division series.
There you go.
And then in the 9th inning, when Eric Hosmer hit the 3-run home run, it was even more quiet. It was eerie. Indoors, by the way, so it should be even louder because the sound has nowhere to go. And it was a 40,000 person library. They were getting ready to celebrate moving on to the next round. Paulo Orlando takes a walk.
The Royals and Fox Sports Kansas City are offering a unique way for fans across the Midwest to enjoy a game at Coppin Stadium. So it's Royal forever. Fan Express fan is designated markets will have the opportunity to win a trip to the K. Final stop is August 20th in Des Moines. Go to Royals.com/FanExpress for more information.
Two on, 1 out for Cheslor Cuthbert. How about his defense against Dozier? First batter at the bottom of the 1st inning.
Yeah, both guys actually. Haas made a nice scoop on a low throw, and Cheslor, I think he learned something when Dozier whistled that double past him in the 1st inning last night. A little closer to the bag, able to make that play, and a good play it was. There you are, shading him just a little bit more toward the line. Smart players have good memories. You ever notice that? So he remembered the double that he hit past him last night. Adjusted.
2 balls, 1 strike.
You know, if he dives straight to the line, the ball's by him. He made an angle and he went towards left field with his initial reaction to catch that ball. We talk about outfielders taking angles, the right angles. That certainly was. Watch him. He's gonna go this way with his angle, and that gives him a better chance to catch that one.
Gives him a little more range.
Right.
Doesn't take much.
To Polanco. He fumbles, and everybody is safe. There have been many reasons why the Minnesota Twins have the worst record in the American League. You can add defense. The Twins, and I don't know how they're going to score that one. Is that one an error as well?
This is the big leagues. That play's got to be made.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
They have committed 2 errors today. 89 errors. That's the most in the American League. So make it 90 errors. That's an error on Polanco again.
He didn't come get it or wait back.
Exactly.
He got caught in no man's land.
Now the Royals had the bases loaded, nobody out last inning and came up empty. They cannot come up empty again in this inning.
Well, they've gotten 3 free tickets to first base.
Base hit left center field. So Lorenzo Cain comes through. He drives in his 2nd and 3rd runs of the game. And that's also his 3rd hit. And now the Royals back out to a 5-run lead. So it wasn't quite a sonic slam, but how about our Chrysler drive of the game?
Tonkin's sinker wasn't sinking, it was up. And Locane stayed short. Good pat to the ball. Used the middle of the field and was a no doubter. And Molitor is wearing a path out from the dugout to the mound.
First time in almost exactly a month that the Royals have scored more than 7 runs in a game. Big day on offense. The Royals have 9 runs, 11 hits, and they're still batting in the 6th inning. This is Taylor Rogers on for the 39th time. And on to face Eric Hosmer.
He's got some decent numbers. Left-hander, low to mid-90s with his fastball. Couple of curves, different speeds, changeup. One he'll throw a little bit harder, a little tighter. The other one's a little looper as a curve. He just threw the looper to Hosmer there.
The Royals have 4 base runners in this inning, 1 hit. The Twins have committed 2 errors, while Polanco at 3rd has committed 2 errors, and there's been a walk. And now Rogers will cut off Hosmer, 2 down. Cuthbert advances to 3rd. And Cain to 2nd. Hosmer's 1 for 4.
Isn't there or wasn't there a pitcher named Looper?
There was.
Braden Looper.
Yeah. Did he have a looper?
If he did, he should have worked on it. That would have been a beauty. A little slow looper.
Not to be confused with a little looper, which a hitter can produce. Second and third, 2 outs for Morales. At the knees for strike one. Kendrys is 1 for 3 today.
Got a new word for you boys.
Okay.
I need it.
The Twins are bereft of pitching.
Look it up, Bud.
Yeah. Bereft.
You got it. Feel free to use
a fancy word for without.
Thank you.
Or lacking.
It's now at your disposal. Feel free to use it.
Thank you, Denny. You know I need a little bit of help in that department. But don't
outside 1 and 2.
Don't stop now. Let's go, Morales. Have a day.
Well, I can't think of a worse combination for a team, and we don't want to cast many stones because the Royals have been here before, but the highest ERA in the league and the most errors is a bad combination, and that ball was dropped. This inning could be over.
Wow.
If that's an error, that'll be the 3rd error of the inning. And it is an error. 4 errors for the Twins, 3 in this inning. And Paul Molitor can chew on all the gum in Minneapolis, and it will not take the bad taste out of his mouth.
Morales was already conceding to the out right there. Look, he looked away. He said, "What? How did he miss that? I hit it right to him." Oh, Molitor's got to have a little indigestion going.
You know what this season reminds me of? And specifically for you, Denny. In 2003, the Royals had a winning season out of nowhere. No one was expecting it. So it was only natural to expect bigger things in 2004, and the Royals had an awful year. They lost 100 games. Minnesota last year had a winning season out of nowhere. No one was really expecting it. They stayed in playoff contention. I mean, the Royals eliminated them in the final regular season series. So it's only natural to amplify the expectations for this year. And it reminds me a lot of the 03 and 04 Royals, where you have a bad season with expectations. Bad combination.
And if you have a team that does come out of nowhere, but somebody's got to come from somewhere, then it's almost, you can count on it, the next year they will fall back. How many times is that? You and I have talked about that over and over. Young team, good year. Next year everybody says, oh yeah, they're going to move up another notch. No, they fall back. Then the next year, look out. So they apparently they learn how to win, and then they learn how to lose, or why. Now they put those two things together, and then the next year they're a factor. Twins have a lot to learn, by the way.
See the slow looper. Got it.
Good one.
4 unearned runs, and the Royals now lead by 7. Well, we began today talking about the Royals giving Edinson Volquez some run support. How about 11 runs as he pitches into the bottom of the 6th inning? That's the story here. Now Panera will take us around the league. Toronto beats Houston. Toronto had a half-game lead over Baltimore going into today. Cleveland's down in the 6th. Chicago loses at Miami, and now Detroit is in front of Texas looking at games in our division. The Royals are 6 games back of Detroit for 2nd place in the Central.
Did you see what happened to Greinke today? By the way, Sale had a problem today. White Sox.
Sharply hit to Cologne. 1 away. Proceed.
Greinke gave up, I think, 3 home runs, 9 runs, 78 hits. I mean,
is that bad?
Wasn't very good.
Yeah.
Making a lot of money.
The worst game I ever saw him pitch in a Royals uniform was in Arizona in 2005. But he also hit a home run in that game.
Yes, he did. And an impressive home run it was.
Did he do a little bat flip?
I think at that point in the game he was in much of a bat flip mood.
Okay.
Holtze's going to look up that box score from the game in Arizona. 1-1 to Polanco. He committed 2 errors in the Royals' 4-run 6th inning, and then Grossman made an error and left. And the Royals' 4 runs were all unearned. Royals had 4 runs on 1 hit in the top of the 6th inning. Jammed and caught by Cologne. And they're 2 down. Take a look at our University of Kansas Hospital injury report. That is terrible news for the Miami Marlins. Giancarlo Stanton injuring his groin running into second base. He goes on the disabled list, so he will not be playing for the Marlins when we're there on the next road trip. Michael Brantley has to have surgery on his right shoulder for a 2nd time, and Matt Holliday was hit by former Royals farmhand Mike Montgomery at Wrigley Field the other night. So bad news in regard to 3 very good players. Greinke, by the way, the game I'm talking about, June of '05 in Arizona, 4 1/3 innings, 11 runs allowed.
He tried to match that today, but they got him out of there before he could.
One ball, 2 strikes.
Volquez, he's got to feel pretty good with those 11 runs. He's had 11 runs in his previous 6 starts total.
But he's getting good support from both teams today.
Alex shows how it's done, and that was a more difficult play than the one Grossman dropped in the top of the 6th inning. Volquez has gone 6. That's his second 1-2-3 inning of the day. Royals lead big, 11-4. And the Royals have taken advantage of 3 Minnesota errors. And everybody is chipped in some way. Even Cuthbert and Colon, who are hitless, have combined to score 3 runs. Up the middle, and that's off a Dozier's glove. They're going to call that a base hit, and that may have been a mercy call there. I think Dozier has a good shot at getting Alex Gordon if he fields that cleanly.
Yeah, ball hopped up on him at the last minute. Now look, this is the 3rd game in the series. I have seen 4 bad hops in the infield. Okay, 1 to Hosmer in the game, or in the first game, a couple around the infield, a couple to Escobar over here. I mean, so look, that infield's hard. It's not, doesn't have a lot of moisture in it. There's no moisture, so the ball's not staying down. So I'm not covering for these guys, but I've noticed a lot of bad hops in this infield in this series.
Well, Polanco, to me, 3rd baseman for the Twins, looks a little gun shy, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
It's typically a shortstop. Second base.
If you're trying to play ground balls with bad hops in your mind, you've got problems.
All right.
Trevor Plouffe, the Twins' longtime 3rd baseman, started game 1 on Friday. Reinstated about a week ago from the disabled list. He was out with a fractured rib, and Paul Molitor has gone with Polanco the last 2 days at 3rd. Left center field, well hit. Rosario will make the play. Escobar is 2 out of 4. KU Day is next Sunday. It'll be the Royals and the Twins at Kauffman Stadium. The first 4,000 fans who bring their KU Day themed ticket to Gate A will receive this limited edition gray and blue branded KC cap, courtesy of Fox Sports Kansas City and Rally House.
And a very nice looking lid.
It is. It is. You know, some of the other University Day caps, you know, the KC and the colors are a bit of a stretch, but that one,
very nice.
KU's colors are the same as the Royals as it is. Most of the color scheme.
You know, guys, getting back to ground balls for infielders and even the outfielders, you can't be defensive when you're playing defense. Does that make any sense? You cannot be defensive when you're playing defense.
You have to be on the offense when you're playing defense?
In a sense, you do. Yeah.
Ball boy, by the way, just made a nice play.
He did. And there weren't any bad hops down there.
There was a few times in my career that I was saying, don't hit it to me. And when you take, that's what you're talking about. You take that approach, the ball's going to come find you. You're in trouble.
2 important things for an infielder: recognizing ball off the bat, what hop is the best for you, and footwork. So recognize as quick as you can, and then your footwork should put you, or you hope it puts you in position to get either a nice short hop or a nice big hop. Now, you can't always do that. We understand that.
Yep.
And then you got to do the best you can. But Ray Sanchez, remember him, Ryan?
I sure do.
I do.
Ray Sanchez, in my opinion, probably had as good, if not the best, footwork of any infielder the Royals have ever had. Really good. You hardly ever saw Ray get a bad hop. And that was footwork.
Malone is down on strikes. That's 2 for Taylor Rogers. And that's not something that normally comes up when you're describing a good infielder. What's usually the first thing you say about a good infielder? He has good hands.
Right. I'll never forget, my college baseball coach asked me the first day of practice, what do you field ground balls with? And I showed him my glove. And he said, no, your head. You have to be in position. You have to be smart. Know the score. Then what do you field ground balls with? I showed him my glove again. I said, no, your feet, footwork. You got to get yourself in position to get the hops that you want. You do those two things, then you put your glove to work.
Chance for a hit. And I hope he gets it. Another bobbled ball. It is a base hit. So Paulo Orlando is a double shy of hitting for the cycle.
Oh, man. Hopefully the guys will get some base hits and hit around a little bit to give him another chance to come up and try for it.
And even if he hits a little 30-footer out in front of the plate, go for second.
That's right.
I mean, who cares? Look at the score.
That's right.
They gave him a hit because the pitcher failed to cover.
Yes.
Did you hear that explanation earlier today?
Yeah,
I'd never heard that before.
I hadn't either. I didn't know that the official score ever keyed on the pitcher. Apparently they do.
Cuthbert. And of course, Polanco makes that play. The most difficult one that he's had all day.
What a clinic.
Good talk, Denny.
Oh, guys,
Thanks,
carry
buddy.
on.
See you on the airplane.
Don't recognize the error of your ways.
By Miller Lite.
How about the hits? Look at them. This is exactly what they were wanting to do here in this final game to get the series. Give Volquez some run support. But 11 runs? Thank you. 6 in 1 inning? Boy, they'll take that all day long. Santiago, who'd had a lot of success against the Royals earlier, didn't have it today. Look at that 6th spot in the 4th inning. 4 in the 6th. Raining runs and hits. That's what you like.
Royals had a 7-1 lead at the end of 3.5. Minnesota had gotten back into the game. They made it 7-4 until the 4-run 6th inning, and maybe we'll see the first Royals cycle since 1990 today.
You know, you like who's hitting it because he's got speed. So if there's any question on a ball to an outfielder's left or right, he's got to go into second base. This is exciting. It's very rare. They're more rare than no hitters. So this is a little exclamation point on this afternoon.
Paulo tripled in the 1st, homered in the 4th, walked in the 6th, and the infield single in the 7th. Meanwhile, Edinson Volquez went 6 innings and only allowed 5 hits. 4 runs, 2 were unearned. So he gives the Royals 6, another grinding effort for him. And Chris Young with a big lead will get the 8, 9, and 1 hitters for the Twins. Centeno takes outside, ball 1. Chris Young has 4 consecutive scoreless outings.
I know he's been pitching well. Fastball slider.
Centeno is grounded out to first and lined to short. 2-1. Two balls, two strikes.
It's been visible there. See it coming back. A little late finish on the pitch. Up in the zone. He's going good. He's popping guys up and flying them out. Finishes him off with a slider down low. A lot easier to talk about than just try to hit it. Just like Dozier said, hitting a baseball is never easy.
Didn't want that. Leadoff walk to Centeno. If you're looking for good deals in the second half, take a look at the second half saver packs. You can choose any remaining 3, 5, or 7 Royals home games, including matchups with the Yankees, Tigers, and Indians, while saving up to 30% off the regular dynamic price. Take advantage at Royals.com/saverpack. Slider is inside to Eddie Rosario.
See many sliders of his that are lateral movement. Normally his slider breaks straight down. It had a little flatter angle to it.
One ball, one strike.
That ball boy over there is getting worn out, and he's making every play. That backhand there, and they better give him a contract. Get him on the field.
Rex Barney, the former public address announcer for the Baltimore Orioles. That was his trademark call when a fan made a good play in the stands.
Give that fan a contract.
You would say that over the public address system.
And a new glove. Sometimes he would throw that in there.
If they didn't make the catch.
Now watch this fundamentally sound here. Look, backhand stayed with it. Came up with it, immediately looking to make somebody happy.
And as Denny said, first you make the play with your brains and then your footwork.
That's right. I meant to say too, you got to remember the speed of the runner, because if you're on that left side, that equates into that ground ball too. Whether you got to come in and get rid of it quickly or not, but Denny knows what he's talking about. I love watching him keep score on his scorecard. His scorecard is incredible.
It looks like it was typed.
Yeah,
Denny Matthews' handwriting.
I just sit there and I was watching him in between innings just working.
Rosario's down on strikes, one away in the 7th. One on, one out to Dozier. Well, it's been a tough day on defense for Minnesota, to say the least. And the Royals have committed an error, which has led to a couple of unearned runs. But the game began for the Royals on defense today with a very good play. First man up for Minnesota against the Royals, Brian Dozier, hit a shot up the third base line, and Cheslor Cuthbert made an outstanding play. That kind of set the tone for the Royals. And on the other side, Minnesota has committed 4 errors in the first 6 innings. Two balls, 2 strikes. Brian Dozier is a fascinating story because he's not very big, but he picks up big time home run numbers. He never hit more than 9 home runs in a minor league season. But in his last 4 years in the big leagues, he has hit 18, 23, 28. And now he has 25 with a month and a half to go in this season.
You know, he found it. And usually that happens when you get a little bit older, more experience, and you find out which pitches you can handle and which ones not. And obviously, he's a dead pull hitter, but he likes it in target field. This is a nice home run for righties. You just get that ball up, home carries, and he was able to recognize his pitches. Not really big.
With his home run today, make it 26 home runs. I keep notes on players when they first get to the big leagues, and I just update the file throughout their career if they hit a milestone or go on the disabled list. Here's the first scouting report I got on Brian Dozier. Line drive hitter, not much power, low strikeouts. That was his scouting report.
He puts the ball in play.
Line drive hitter, which, okay, give him that. Not much power. That's changed. Low strikeouts. That's changed. He set a Twins team record last year with 148 strikeouts. So there you go. Never more than 9 in the minor leagues. But now we'll look at his last 5 years, including this year. 6, 18, 23, 28. And then you can add the 1-2 today, 26. In a ballpark that is not home run friendly. Now he hasn't hit them all here, but half of his games are played at Target Field. Cuthbert down to second one, Colon to first, double play. And Chris Young, after a leadoff walk, only faces 3 in the bottom of the 7th inning.
One, and for the rest of the league, well, there's an even bigger score coming from Boston. What a day for this guy, our Lee Summit Mazda game break. Mookie Betts off of Zach Greinke did it not just once but twice, and for good measure he added a 3rd home run. 3 home run day for Mookie Betts. Where does that stand in history? Well, it's his second 3-home run game of the year. The only other Red Sox player to do that in one season, Ted Williams. Oh, by the way, Dustin Pedroia had 5 hits today.
Wow. Boy, they're loaded, aren't they? And a lot of those young guys came from the same draft. JT Shagwa will take over in the 8th inning.
I want to ask you guys this because I just was talking with a random scout here to watch today, and he was going through all the teams saying, who's the most...
An unnamed American League scout?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
But that doesn't really matter. We were just kind of talking about who is the most impactful player on every team going forward, not just this year, but for the future. And when he got to Boston, we had a nice debate. Is it Mookie Betts? Is it Jackie Bradley Jr.? Is it Xander Bogaerts? He came up with Bogaerts because he plays shortstop, but boy, after another 3-home run game, I don't think you can go wrong with any of those guys.
That's some good young talent.
In the 2011 draft, 1 and 2 on Kane. In one draft, the Red Sox got Mookie Betts, Jackie Bradley Jr., Travis Shaw, and Matt Barnes, a pitcher. All in one draft.
Ooh. That scout deserves a raise.
Lorenzo Cain's had a big day. Sac fly in the 1st inning. Doubled in the 4th and scored. Singled in the 5th. Singled again in the 6th. Drove in 2 more and scored a run. So 3 for 3. With 2 runs scored and 3 RBIs. Full count.
Shagwell has that heavy sinker. A lot of velocity. That's when the term's used, heavy sinker. That means that he throws hard. Mid to upper 90s. Slider and good changeup.
Four-hit game for Lorenzo Cain. And it has been a high-stress day all day for the Minnesota Twins, because the Royals have had the leadoff man on in the 1st, 2nd, 4th, 5th, 7th, and 8th.
Like it. They're tuning up for the left-hander tomorrow, Daniel Norris. I can carry it over. And Locaine saw his average dip below 270.
Still get the double play.
So Locaine picking it up.
For Lorenzo Cain, by the way, that's the 11th time in his career he's had a 4-hit game, tying his career high. Two down to Kendrys Morales. Kendrys is 1 for 4 today. The Royals have 14 hits. One and one. Hold it up so we can read it. There we go. Well done. Two balls, 1 strike. Two and two. Royals have scored in the 1st inning. The 4th inning, that was a 6-run inning. and the 6th, a 4-run inning. And we began the game talking about if the Royals have just one inning with 2 or more runs, they have a winning record. By far a winning record. Just one inning with 2 or more runs. And today they've had 2 innings with 4 or more runs.
Totally welcome. And I'm sure that Eddie will say after the game that his offense came through for him. You know, last year he was the good luck pitcher for runs. He had over 5 runs a game they gave him. This year he's been the bad luck guy that's not getting the runs. Just a little bit over 2. So good for him. Offense came through.
Two-out walk to Morales. Here are those numbers. A big inning used to be, Hud, I think it's still the same. When you say a big inning, 3 or more runs in an inning. So you hope for at least 1 big inning a game. But for the Royals, if they have an inning with 2 or more runs, they are 16 games above 500.
That's where they want to get.
Which is a bit surprising because usually a team that gets by with that is among the league leaders in ERA. And the Royals are 9th in the league in ERA. Escobar fields, and that's the inning. Salvador Perez is 1 for 5. The Royals strand 1 in the 8th. 11-4 KC. Minneapolis, and the Royals lead by 7. Our copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Kansas City Royals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals Baseball Club. Ryan Lefevre, Rex Hudler with Joel Goldberg, Jeff Montgomery, director Steve Kurtenbach, producer Joe Vencius, associate producers Sam Abramson, Dave Holtzman, and the producer of Royals Live is Brian Shapiro. Oh, 0-2 on Robbie Grossman. Grossman is flied to left, lined to first, struck out, and he committed an error on a fly ball to left field in the 6th inning, which allowed 2 runs to score. Second inning for Chris Young after Edinson Volquez went 6 and allowed 4. 2 of his runs were unearned. Chris allowed a leadoff walk to Centennial, but then got a strikeout and a ground ball double play. Trying to put together his 5th consecutive scoreless outing. And he begins with a strikeout, his 2nd of the day. Joe Mauer has 2 hits, an RBI, and a run scored. One ball, one strike. Joe Mauer, 3 batting titles, an MVP, 3 Gold Gloves, and 5 trips to an All-Star game.
Pretty nice career.
And he's from here. And I remember when we were here last year, we were the Twins home opener. And when Joe Mauer was introduced, it was like they were introducing just another guy. You know, usually for your home opener, everybody gets a huge ovation. Now, the biggest one last year was for Torrey Hunter because he was coming back to where it all started. Two balls, 2 strikes. When he won his first batting title in 2006, that was the first ever American League batting title for a catcher, and the first batting title for any catcher in either league since 1942. Chris Young strikes him out, and then he won 2 more in the next 3 years.
Pretty impressive. Tough job to catch. You know, it's a hard enough job to be able to be consistent enough to do that. Left-handed hitter, sees a lot of righties. We talked about it in yesterday's game about the power he hit in the old Metrodome. Got out here, kind of changed things for him, and he became a really a number 3 hitter that didn't hit for a lot of extra bases. I don't want to call him a punch and Judy, but that's a term used for like a middle infielder who can't hit very much.
Well, he would show signs from time to time and just wondered if the power would ever come. And then 2009, he started the season on the disabled list. He missed the first month. And so in 5 regular season months in 2009, he had 29 home runs. Vargas hits that hard to right field. Kane will run it down. 29 home runs in 2009, and then he hit 47 over the next 6 years combined. Chris Young, 2 scoreless innings with 3 strikeouts. Brought to you by the Missouri Lottery. Every ticket you play gives back to schools across Missouri, so play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. By Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And by your Midwest Ford dealers. Visit your MidwestFordDealers.com. Royals are 1 inning away from winning a 3rd consecutive series. They took 2 out of 3 during the homestand from both the Blue Jays and the White Sox, and have an 11-4 lead into the 9th inning here at Target Field, where the Royals have won 9 of their last 11 games. Ryan Presley pitches the 9th and throws a strike to Alex Gordon, who has a 2-hit game. Presley is the 6th Minnesota pitcher. Ned Yost has only needed to use 2 pitchers so far today. Presley pitched a scoreless inning of relief for Tyler Duffy last night. Minnesota can afford to empty the bullpen, as they have a day off tomorrow before traveling to Atlanta, and then we'll see him at Kauffman Stadium. 2 balls, 1 strike. Wicked. 2-2. You see the bite on that breaking ball? Same pitch, and Alex hit it hard to right field, caught by Kepler. On to Detroit after the game today, and here are the pitching matchups. Ian Kennedy and Daniel Norris tomorrow. Danny Duffy and Justin Verlander on Tuesday. Yordano Ventura and Anibal Sanchez Wednesday. All night games, all on Fox Sports Kansas City.
Great. Forward to it. Royals can stay hot. Catch those Tigers. 1 game at a time. Same way now. They got to creep back to 500.
Royals need a base runner to get Paulo Orlando to the plate and a chance for the cycle. Paulo needs a double. It will be, if he comes up, his 6th plate appearance of the day. He's got a bat, batting gloves on, helmet on. He's ready to go.
That's right. And believe me, he knows it.
There we go. Now Christian Colon has to avoid hitting into a double play. That's a 3-hit game for Alcides Escobar and 15 hits for the Royals today.
That's fantastic. Couldn't have written it up any better today. We talked about the urgency before this game of getting this series before they head on to Detroit. Playing the Central here for the next several games in a row here. 15 hits, most hits since June 25th. I'd like to drop a call the cops on that. That's beautiful. Man, love this one. From the very beginning in the first inning, Ryan, remember when I caught myself rooting? They were taking some great hacks. They could have easily hit some homers, you know, in the first. They just missed in San Diego, and I could tell that they were aggressive. The Royals were on a mission today.
That's to the gap, and Rosario closes in on it. 2 down for Paulo Orlando. Let's look back at his day today.
First inning, lifted this. I mean, that looked like a fly ball pop up to the center fielder. Off the wall, no problem. Paulo in there with his 4th triple. Then this one here, he homered big time. 4th home run. And a little chop knock with that speed. Little bobble at the shortstop, couldn't make the play. That's a knock. And here we are.
No balls, 1 strike. also July 25th, 1990 at Sky Dome, now Rogers Center.
Told you, cycles are more rare than the no-hitters.
Gonna have to hustle. Well, you said it. You said, you know, he's going to really have to hustle if he does that again next time, gets a base hit. Well, no cycle today, but how about a 4-hit reaching base 5 times from your leadoff hitter today?
That's exactly why they promoted him. Ned Yost told me before the game that he was so good down the bottom of the Royals order that he wanted to leave him there for comfort's sake. And then he's elevated his game, and then he put him in that one spot, and he's been coming through. Got to leave him there.
Second career 4-hit game. It's the first time he's ever had 9 total bases in a game.
Talked about Paulo Orlando hitting and the Royals putting up some crooked runs before this game started, and it's played out that way.
Cuthbert strikes out on 3 pitches, so he has a rare hitless game. His 9-game hitting streak comes to an end. To the bottom of the 9th inning, the Royals are 3 outs away from taking 2 out of 3 from the Twins. Recent expansion teams have gone longer than the Royals without hitting for the cycle. Last Reds player was 1989.
How about this right here? Paulo Orlando hitting by the slot. Now he liked the 7th spot. That's what we were talking about, Ned. 8th and 9th. Look at that. That's important. That's good production down there, and he's cleaning up. One of the reasons is they left him is because of that average with runners in scoring position is so high this year. It's been up around the mid 300s and upper beyond. Now he's taking that first spot to a different level.
Drew Butera will catch the bottom of the 9th inning. Drew made his big league debut with the Minnesota Twins and played 4 seasons here. Chris Young has faced only 6 batters in 2 innings and has struck out 3. He'll get Kepler, Polanco, and Escobar. Kepler will be on to begin the bottom of the 9th. It's a base hit. He's 1 for 4. Coming up after the game, Boulevard Royals Live with Joel and Monty. Royals have 11 runs, 16 hits. Minnesota committed 4 errors today. There have been a total of 6 unearned runs this afternoon. Fouled away by Polanco. He committed 2 errors in 1 inning. That was in the Royals' 4-run 6th. And both of those batter runners who reached on errors came around to score.
That's 92 total errors for the Twins. Dead last in the American League. Most highest errors. Worst fielding percentage.
Only the Milwaukee Brewers have made more errors in the big leagues. One and 2. It's a tough combination to overcome. Highest ERA in your league and most errors committed in your league. There is absolutely nothing you can do to cover those 2 numbers.
No, and you know, when you're having a season like the Twins, and I've been on teams like that before. That's a routine ball there. Apollo. Is that, you know, the coaches start getting nervous. You know, Alder's been working these guys out. Check them out now. This is pretty embarrassing. I mean, we don't want to expose them, but well, we got to tell you the story of the game. This ball's bouncing everywhere. The only guy who's made clean plays all day is the ball boy down the right field line.
And that's usually not very good.
No.
One ball, no strikes. Chris Young will qualify for a save, even though the Royals are ahead by 7, pitching the last 3 innings. One and 1 on Eduardo Escobar. He drove in 2 back in the 4th inning. Volquez went 6, and now Chris Young is trying to go 3. One and 2. Two and 2 on Escobar. Colon heads up play. He stayed back to play it on a hop and turned what could have been 1 out into 2 outs. And isn't that appropriate? The Minnesota Twins commit 4 errors today, and for the Royals, their first play on defense and their last play on defense were good ones.
That's right, and they continue that steady defense and the good starting pitching, and the offense like that today. Wow, I've been waiting a long time to say, let's get on the bus and forget about us. Take it on. Got the series. That's 3 in a row now. Stay hot. Boys are starting to believe.
Royals have won 6 of their last 8 games. They are now 7-2 against the Minnesota Twins. They have won 10 of their last 12 here at Target Field. And Minnesota has now lost 5 of 6 and 7 of their last 11. Paulo Orlando, he's been a nightmare for every team in the Central Division this year, but in particular the Minnesota Twins.